Hello!
Welcome to another video.
Today we're gonna talk about ways to fund grad school.
Many of us have heard that going to medical school, law school, or graduate school costs a lot of money and requires huge loans.
But this is not necessarily true if you want to go to grad school.
Yeah, so there are different ways that you can fund your graduate studies, and we'll go over some of them.
One of the ways that you can go for free to grad school is if you are working on an industry. Most of the companies can pay for your graduate degree.
If you're already in a job in the industry that you want to pursue a graduate degree on, your boss might be able to pay for you to attend grad school and advance your skills. So this is something that you would have to discuss with your company and see if that's a possibility.
This is a way for the company to increase their collective skills, but still keeping their own employees and not having to hire new employees.
So talk to your employer to see if that's a possibility for you. Another way to fund your graduate studies, and one of the most broad options, is to apply for a scholarship or fellowship that might be able to pay for your graduate studies and give you a stipend.
Some of these scholarships, they target specific population. For example, underrepresented minorities, or like female in STEM, and others like that.
Yeah, so there are specific ones for your field, there might be specific ones for your type of research, there might be some merit-based ones, some college specific. So if you're going to the University of Wisconsin, for example, they might have some specific ones for that university that are within the university. So there's got to be a lot of research going on to be able to know all these options.
We know about this because we are actually in a scholarship. So the one that we have is targeted for minorities in STEM in the United States, to be able to increase the minority people in higher education jobs.
Yes, so it is very important that you talk to people in the field. Students, graduate students, professors, people that have already graduated, they might be able to give you an idea of the kind of scholarships that exist within your field.
And also they may know where they can point you forward, so you can get some fellowships that apply to you specifically.
We'll link some of the bigger ones in STEM below, so you can go ahead and take a look at that. So many times we learn about these fellowships through word of mouth. So it is very important, like I said before, talk to your professors, talk to people that are in the field or in the college that you want to go into, to see what the best scholarships are for you that you might be able to apply and you might qualify for.
Sometimes a targeted search in Google can yield many fellowships that are good for you, that you can apply for your specific field.
This next way to get funded for your research is one of the most common ones that people will go for, and this is to work for the university, to work for your college. That means applying for a research assistantship, teaching assistantships, or other kind of project assistantships that the college might offer.
A RA or research assistantship is usually given to you by your primary advisor, and it covers tuition reimbursement and also a stipend for you to be able to pay for your necessities, house, food, etc.
The way RA works is a primary advisor applies for a grant for a specific project in which they might be able to bring on a student to help with that project. If you are interested in that project, they might be able to fund you while you work on part of that project.
Sometimes part of this project becomes your research topic or your research work.
Yeah, so it is important to talk to a PI beforehand about what projects you're in and what your expectations are for that. Teaching assistantship is appointed by the college that you attend, and your responsibilities might be things like grading, teaching a class, and having office hours.
On top of that, you need to take your own classes, but also doing your research if you're doing research.
So balance is very important for this kind of appointmentship. A TA appointment might cover your tuition and a stipend. So it's important to talk to the college about what's covered, and it differs by college, it differs by university.
There are other appointments that the department or college can have, so make sure to talk to your college or to your department to see what opportunities there are for you for the specific year or semester.
Another way that you might be able to fund your graduate studies is to work for the university.
So an example of this is like working at a cafeteria or doing administrative work.
We are not as familiar with this option, but we have seen some people take this route. So it's important to talk to the college, to the university, to see what options are there. Another way to fund your graduate studies and research is to apply for a grant yourself.
These grants can be both private or federal grants.
These grants, if you are accepted for one, give you money, a budget to be able to buy lab equipment and to pay for your own tuition and your own stipend.
Most of these grants you apply with a specific project in mind.
Right, so you promise some deliverables and they might fund that project. People apply for these grants normally in the middle of their graduate studies when they have a specific project they want to work on for the thesis, and they apply to be able to get lab equipment and also be able to pay themselves and their tuition reimbursed.
And ultimately get funded.
Yep.
Another way to fund your graduate program is getting a loan.
There are many loans out there, so please make sure you talk to the financial aid person at your university so that they can advise you on the best loan for you.
Yeah, this could save you a lot of money.
Just to give you an idea of how a graduate student might fund their research, we're going to talk about how we have funded our research so far.
Yeah. In my case, I've gotten fellowship and scholarships. I've also I teach an engineering course and also RA, so I've been getting paid for doing research and getting a stipend for doing that.
In my case, I started off with a scholarship and then some RA appointmentships. I did a little bit of grading, and ultimately I applied for a grant that has been funding my research in the last few years.
Most of these work in general. Some of the grants are subject and field specific, so make sure to look into that.
Yeah, talk to people in the field of interest, the students, professors, and anybody like that that might be able to guide you in the best options that you have, and choose between scholarships, fellowships, grants, RA appointmentships, TA appointmentships, and whatever else the university and college has to offer for you.
You might be able to fund your grad school by doing a combination of all the fellowships and help that we've talked about.
Yes, particularly in STEM, we believe that you can get a graduate degree without having to pay anything. So check out those scholarships, check out those fellowships, those RA appointmentships, talk to people, and you might find that you can get through grad school without having to pay.
At least in STEM.
At least in STEM, correct.
If you know of other ways to fund grad school, leave a comment below.
If you found this content helpful, hit that like button. It will help suggest this video to other people looking to learn how to afford grad school.
Also, subscribe to get the latest videos. Thank you, and see you in the next one.